Hello my lovelies. As you can see, I am sporting a very large, oversized fleece hoodie, blanket, oodie, scoodie. I don't know what you call it, but it's cozy. It's not green with pink toadstools. It's pale pinky white, and I feel like an oversized marshmallow in it, so I'm very happy with it. I am still going to see if I can get that one as well, because I think when it gets really cold in winter and I'm at home and I'm trying to work and keep the heating off, this will be really, really helpful for allowing me to preserve energy in the forthcoming crisis. What have I got in my hair? Ooh. Oh, it's a bit of fluff from the fleece. Anyway, Angelina Tharp made a good point yesterday. She's one of the new followers. So hello, Angelina, and everybody else who's joined the channel recently. A big welcome to you all, and thank you very much for coming and finding out what kind of silly things I like to get up to. And Angelina asked me to talk a little bit about who I am, a bit of background really. And I forget to do that kind of thing, because I just, in my head, I think, oh, everybody knows me and everything, because I feel like you're all old friends. And then I forget that lots of you haven't actually got a clue who I am. So my name is Suzanne, and I live in Chesterfield in Derbyshire in England, which is, I'm getting very hot with this up. We class it the north of England. Some people would say it's Midlands. We're very near Sheffield, which is in Yorkshire, and Yorkshire is north. So I always say we're in the north of England. Yeah, I'm in my early 40s. I've lived here all my life. I'm very much a home girl kind of person, homebody, as we would say. I live with Johnny, my husband, Ivy, my daughter, Cosmo, my son, Bramble, my little girl cat, who is 19 years old, and we currently have 6 chickens as well. We've been keeping chickens since May of 2020. Yeah, we got them during the first lockdown, the first COVID lockdown, and have loved having them ever since. As soon as I start talking, I want to yawn. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing with my hair either. Stop it. Anyway, I work 3 days a week in my job, which I'm not going to say exactly what I do, because it is of a sensitive sort of nature, which makes it sound much more exciting, like I work for MI5 or something, and I don't. I work in the NHS, and I'm not going to say what my actual role is, but I will say that I'm patient facing, and I get to support people and help people, which is what I've always really enjoyed doing. I worked in Sure Start Children's Centres for many years as a family support worker. And yeah, I get to do a sort of a similar sort of support-based job now, which I absolutely love. It's very busy and keeps me on my toes, and I get to meet lots of really interesting people, and my days absolutely fly by. So that's 3 days a week, and the rest of the week I'm busy being the proprietor of Greenlambkin yarn, which has been going for about 4 years now. Let's just have a little sip of coffee. Well, I started dyeing yarn about 4 years ago, I should say, clarify that. And the reason I started was because I've always been into textiles. I did a BTEC in fashion design, and dressmaking at college, and an A-level in textiles, and I really enjoyed dyeing fabrics when I was at college and when I was younger. And when I first discovered indie dyed yarn, I looked at it in awe and thought, I want to be able to do that. I've always been such a lover of colour. I'm really excited by colour, and I love experimenting with it and trying out combinations and, you know, trying to be innovative with colour, I suppose. And I thought, yeah, I'm sure that with a little bit of experimentation I'd be okay at that. So I got a few dyes and a bit of base yarn, and I tried it, and as soon as I started I was in love. And that's how it started, really. I just really enjoy the process, and I really enjoy the outlet for creativity that it gives me, as well as dyeing yarn. I mean, my main hobby is knitting and crochet. I am also a spinner, although I don't get much chance to spin at the moment, and I also do English paper piecing, patchwork and cross stitch, and I mainly picked those up because I'm left-handed and I have developed arthritis in my CMC joint, which is at the base of my thumb, and if I knit and crochet too much it exacerbates it. So now I sort of alternate and try to sort of ease the pressure on my thumb joint by doing other crafts as well. What else can I tell you? We're really into walking, although there are times, like at the moment, when my physical condition prevents me from doing as much exercise as I would like to. In November, it will be 9 years ago that I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed officially when Cosmo, my youngest, was 1 year old. But it had been suggested to me that that was what the matter was about 8 or 9 months before that. Yeah, so that does affect me. I've made some changes to my lifestyle and some changes to my diet. Sorry, I keep knocking the camera. Which helped me with that. I don't drink any alcohol under normal circumstances. I mostly drink decaffeinated drinks, although I do have the odd cup of tea and coffee. And I don't have any gluten in my diet, which has made the biggest difference. And I try really hard to look after myself and to fight it, basically. I don't like to say I'm a sufferer or anything like that. I tend to like to use more positive terms to refer to it. I am a person with fibromyalgia rather than I am a sufferer of fibromyalgia. It sort of psychologically stops you thinking that it's holding you back and that it's something that you can be in control of. And that's my biggest tip for anybody who gets a diagnosis like that, is don't allow your mindset to be influenced by other people's negativity, and don't allow it to limit you. Sorry, I had to stop the recording because Ivy is currently baking a spiced pumpkin cake, and she brought the batter up for me to try. Anyway, other things I really like are music, and I've got quite a broad range of I like quite a broad range of genres. I love listening to audiobooks and a few podcasts. I love my home, and I'm really, really, really into, I know this is going to come as a massive surprise to you, I'm really into decorating for Halloween and for Christmas. And I love making things to decorate with as well, because here in the UK we don't have anywhere near, it's getting better now, but we don't have anywhere near as many lovely things, especially for Halloween. And so when I first started, as I said earlier on in the series, if I wanted it, I had to improvise and make my own a lot of the time. And I really enjoy that. I love thinking, oh, what could I use? And, you know, putting it all together to make the best of what we've got. So, that's it. I love to cook as well, although my passion for cooking has waned somewhat over the last few years. At the moment, I will admit that life is a little unbalanced because I'm working this job, which I haven't been doing for very long. I left the local authority, our local council, in February, this year, and I had been working for them for over 15 years prior to that. And I've been working 3 days per week for a long time. But Greenlambkin yarn is really getting going, and for that I am extremely grateful. I'm loving it, and I want to keep it going, and I want to keep building it. But at the moment I'm struggling to keep on top of the growth of it because of time constraints and physical constraints like my fibro, energy levels and things. So my life feels a little bit unbalanced at the moment. You know, I'm not getting as much time for things like exercise, me time spent with the kids and family time. So we haven't been out for many walks recently and stuff like that, which, yeah, it feels a little bit unbalanced. But I knew that I was going to have to get to this point and work through it. So I've prepared myself for that, and I just have to accept it and carry on. So yeah, I will admit that I am sometimes not struggling, but working really hard to keep all the balls in the air. Which frustrates me because sometimes I'm not quite as quick at getting orders out as I would like to be. And I have sort of not been able to quite keep to my strict deadline for the Advent Club. It's sort of like eked further and further back in the month throughout the year. And this year there's been lots of weird things going off, like I don't know, the holidays just fell wrong. We kept having bank holidays, which sort of threw off the preparation and the putting together of them and everything. It's just been a year for it. But I've got a plan. I've decided to make a change next year, which is going to help me to really streamline the Advent process. So anyway, that's it really. If you want to know anything else about me, if you've got questions, just pop them in the comments below and I will answer them, hopefully before the end of this vlog series. Anyway, I'm going to go downstairs, and I think I'm going to put the Halloween candles on and the fairy lights and things, and might try and work on my Halloween cross stitch a little bit now.